far, but sure as a star, wherever we are.
Joining us now is our travel expert, Kathy Buckworth, who is often out of the country doing exciting things, and she's back this week to chat about group travel, the pros and cons.
Yeah.
Can't wait to hear this.
Well, group travel, I think most people sort of conjure up, if this is Tuesday, it must be Belgium.
Yes,
So where you're
exactly
on this busload with a lot of weary travelers checking off, historic monuments in 5 minutes and things like that. And it isn't just that, of course. Group travel can be that, and it can be a lot more. So I just wanted to talk today about whether you're comfortable with the style of group travel and what you should be looking out for, because different companies offer different things. So, some of the things that you should know about group travel before you make that booking. You do want to get on the phone with them and talk about it. I would never want to do a group travel booking just based off their website, because you really want to get a sense of the what they're going to do with you, what their agenda is. You really want to get that agenda in your hands before you book and check out everything from flight times, transfers. I mean, I was on one recently, 2 a.m. flight out of Miami. Not nice. You want to check those sorts of things to say.
I think their airports were allowed to fly out at
I
that
know.
time.
At Miami they are, apparently.
Yeah.
So you want to check those things and make sure that you're comfortable with that. Often they will arrange the airfare for you, but sometimes you can take an option and arrange your own if you have loyalty programs, etc. So start with the air and move from there. Then go through the itinerary literally item by item to make sure you know how much time you have at each stop. So if you see that you're going to be at a museum for 6 hours and you would only be happy with 5 minutes, that might not be the tour for you. So you want to know what the focus is, and you want to know where the itinerary is going to take you. If you're booking with an adventure travel group, you really want to make sure you understand the physical component of that trip. I was on one recently, and they said they send people home if they think they can't do it, and it's a physical safety issue for them. So you really want to talk to them about is it light exercise, moderate, what types of skills should you have if you're whitewater rafting, for instance, or mountain climbing, or you really want to get into that and not assume that they're going to take beginners all the way up to advanced. They'll have a level that they'll suggest to you. You want to make sure that you read their packing tips. Most group travel places will give you fantastic packing tips of what to take, what to expect. Take it seriously, because they have done this trip many times. They know if you need casual wear, rain wear, hiking boots, So take that very seriously if you're looking at that. What's great about group travel is often they'll pair with a local tour guide, so you'll get someone who really knows the area. It's not just some guy out of a New York office that's taking you, into the Amazon. It'll be someone from there. So that can be such a great advantage, because they really know how the culture works. They can give you tips on that. They'll speak the language, obviously, if you're in a non-English speaking country. So those types of things can be so reassuring when you're actually there on the ground. Make sure you know what's covered in your costs. So obviously the actual transfers. Meals are often covered, which is fantastic. And the great thing is they've scoped out these restaurants. They know what to expect. They've done a lot of research. Alcohol is generally not included. And actually, I've known tour companies that send home people that drink too much too. So you want to actually.
That sounds like a March break school trip.
So you got to check that. Sometimes meals aren't always included though. So you want to look for those notes in your itinerary that say on your own. If it says on your own, you are on your own cost wise as well as. But that can be a good thing. You think I want to go out and explore on my own and not spend every meal with those 20 people that are on my tour.
What worries me though is I'm going to be stuck on a bus or a tour or whatever with a group of people who are either always late, and I am very punctual, or I don't mesh with.
You don't like them. Yeah, that's always a challenge. Like no, that's always a challenge, right? And you sort of take your chances. You can always ask the company you're booking with to say, like, who else is booking? You give me their demographics. You don't want to be, 30 years younger or older than everyone on the trip.
I was just going to say that. Or a group that has a whole bunch of young children, and maybe you don't.
Not
you're
your
past
style.
That. Well, it's like. You had that stage.
That's right. That's right. And actually, it's interesting. With the last trip I was on, the tour guide said, I'm going to turn late into a positive for the group, not a negative. One guy that was always late, and he called it a pisco point. A pisco sour is the official drink of Peru, which is where we were. He said every time you were late, you got a pisco point. If you got 3 of them, you bought the entire bus around. It never got to that. He said you're either the most...
How many people were on the
20.
bus? Oh, that would be expensive.
And he said you're either the most punctual group I've ever had or the cheapest. So... it worked. But let me tell you, it worked because people didn't, and it was like they got called out for being late. So So, you don't want to be stuck on a late person. So maybe you talk to your tour guide about doing the similar thing. If there are items on the agenda that you want to skip, you think, I just won't do that. You want to check with your tour guide to make sure it's okay to skip it, because often attractions are on the way to something else. So that, the bus is the bus and it moves along, and you might be changing hotel rooms quite often. So just don't assume that you can just go sit in a cafe somewhere and they'll carry on without you. You want to see how rigid they really are with that. That's obviously sort of a downside to the group tour, because, you don't often get to pick your own thing. One thing that's really important is you want to check the start times each day and the end times each day. If you're a person who can't get out of bed before 9 and every day starting at 6:30, you're not going to have fun. Sorry, this is not going to be a vacation for you, right?
That 2 a.m. flight really bugged you,
right.
didn't it?
I am an early person, but I like to go to bed early.
I know. I was up early this morning, and I saw you were already up.
I was up at 4:45 this morning, but I like to go to bed at like 9 or 9:30. So if I see on my agenda they've got shows every night that don't end until midnight, again, might not be my kind of tour. So you really want to check and see what they've done. Speaking of shows or concerts, they'll take care of a lot of that for you. So huge benefit to that. As I said, it's risk-free travel and can be a lot of fun. So just do your research for each company.
Well, thanks so much, Kathy.
You're
and
welcome.
We'll chat with you in a few weeks.
Sounds great.